everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching the channel as always. Hopefully this will be a quick video, but I figured that it may be a useful video for somebody out there. Y'all seen a lot of these Briggs & Stratton classic engines here on the channel over the years. This is another one of them. It has a 4 horsepower Briggs classic engine. I got it on trade. Guy bought the Boland's Yardman Mishmash self-propel mower that y'all saw on the channel. This one's got an interesting issue that it took me a while to figure out what was going on with these carburetors, and now that I was told by somebody what goes on, I think I know what we got to do here. Hopefully it's easy, and hopefully we don't even have to take off the carburetor for this. So we'll see if we have to do a diaphragm or something along those lines on it. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get started on this repair. And if you have any questions about this video or any questions in general about anything you see on the channel, feel free to reach out to me, Ellis at ellismowers.com, or you can reach out to me on Instagram and Facebook at ellismowers09. Also have a partnership with Hippo, the aftermarket carburetor company, or aftermarket small engine parts company, that if you click on the link at the top of my description, that you will it'll take you to where you can buy parts from their website, and if you buy parts using that link, I get a little bit of a cut from that. So I'd appreciate any purchases when it comes to that. But for the meantime, let's go ahead and get started on this Briggs Classic push mower and see if what I think is wrong with it is wrong with it. It may be a little dark because it is storming outside now. This thing is in really good shape for its age, from what I can tell. It's a 4 horsepower, 21-inch cut mulching deck, adjustable wheels, newer style deck, so it's probably, well, I'll let y'all guess the year as we always do. My man tried to put a new spark plug in it because that's always the go-to. When in doubt, spark plug it out, right? 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. Y'all got the year guess? Let's check under it real quick. Let's look at the air filter. Air filter looks acceptable. Blade, definitely acceptable. Got a little bit of twine under the mower there. That's easy squeezy. Oil situation. See what we got going on here. Ooh, we got some gas pouring out because it's slam full. Oil looks really good. The situation is the primer bulb's not working. You can hear it trying. Man, that lighting is terrible right there. You can hear it trying, but it's just not doing anything. So one thing that I've learned is there's like a little check valve for the primer bulb, and when that check valve goes bad, and this happens a lot on these newer ones, like the last gen Briggs Classics. This right here happens to where the primer bulb seems like it just stops. So anyways, let's take a look at the year. If y'all have guessed, my guess is this is going to be like a 2011 or so, just kind of by the way this is looking. At maybe a little bit younger than that. And man, I'm going to have to get a flashlight to see. Let me, actually, here we go. So they have the model number on the gas tank, and it's 110407. That is 2011, and April 7th of 2011. So about 11 years old. Air filter in classic fashion is on the wrong way. And just generally a little bit dirty, but nothing crazy. Let me get it on the bench. I'll show you what I think it is with the check valve. Alright guys, what I believe the issue is, as I step over my tripod, we're going to take the air filter off first, because we will turn that around the correct way. I do need to tighten up some bolts in order to get that engine shroud on better. Makes me think this thing might be vibrating. I hope it's not. But there's a little bit of dirt in this thing. It's like I said, it's just not priming, and I don't really think it would be the diaphragm, although it could be. It doesn't doesn't really have the symptoms of it running lean. But I'm just taking these tabs and getting them out now. This one's the trickier one of the two just because of the angle you've got to go in order to get it out. Ugh. Briggs does make a tool for this, but when you have a screwdriver, why not? I have plenty of primer bulbs on deck, so this ain't really a big deal for me if I need to replace one. But what we're gonna do, that's kind of stuck for some reason. I guess it's just frozen, stuck on here. That's interesting. Come on, buddy. You know you want to. There we go. Aha! Yep, that's exactly what happened. I am actually 100% correct on this. At least think. So, here's what we have. We have a seat, a spring, and a ball. Now the ball and the spring and the seat go right there in that top hole. So what I'm going to do is set up the camera. I'll show you how to put it back in. Never seen one come out like this, so this is kind of interesting that this has happened. And we'll see what we can do when it comes to getting this to prime again. Hopefully, like I said, that's all it is. Let me get the camera set up to a full-on shot, and we'll put it back in. All right, guys, so that's a better shot. Here's how we're going to do this. Ugh. Do not lose your little ball bearing. You need it. You need it pretty badly, actually. And don't lose your seat. So put those in a safe spot. We're going to take our spring. Wow, this is... Need little bitty pliers for this, don't we? There's some. We're going to take our spring with our small little bitty pliers. I'm pretty sure it's that top one right there. Put the spring back in. This is the challenging part. Once we get the spring in, we're going to be okay. It's just the angle that you have to go in order to get everything in is really, really tight. Let's see if we can get it in there. Okay. Come on, you can do it. Yay! All right. So next is probably going to be even harder. We've got to get the ball bearing back in. And I might, quite honestly, have to tip this thing on its side to do this. But we'll see what we can do here. Ooh. Wow. That's what I'm going to do, guys. Let me get this thing tilted on its side. That way I can go kind of full on and just kind of drop all this mess into place here. Alright guys, so with gas being as high as it is, I tilted it over. This tried to swell, or not swell with gas, but get gas in it, and it was trying to drip out of the top. This tank's slammed full. I'm trying not to make it so that you don't have to empty the tank. I was able to get the ball into this area here. Now we're going to work on the seat. See if I can slide that seat in there. Maybe I need my pliers back that I was using. See if I can at least get it up there, get it started, and then push it in place, which I think I just did. push it into place right there. We'll see. I didn't break anything on the primer bolt. Let's see if that did anything when I did that. So I got the spring in there, the ball in there, and the plug in there. Doesn't seem like it did anything, unfortunately. I think this setup might be bad on this. We'll get it down here. That is kind of unfortunate. Darn. That is unfortunate. I thought that was it. I put it back on the right way, I believe, with the seat and everything. Still ain't working. So now the next step is, I think I'm going to put a good carburetor that I have on it. Or I'll do a little bit more investigating before I call it quits on this. And once I see what I can do, I'll let y'all know. I thought for sure that would fix it, but maybe I don't have it in there fully correct. Alright guys, here's what I think has happened. I think that spring behind that check valve may be compromised in some way, and that seat's not seating very well on that check ball, and for some reason it blew out. I don't know why it blew out, but it blew out. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to find another carburetor that I have here at home, and we're just going to swap it onto this tank since we know this tank is good. And I'll show y'all how to do that process here in just a second. Alright guys, if y'all don't mind forgiving me, I have messed up my camera mount. So I have it kind of zip tied and lopsided, but it's still going to work what we need to do. 3/8, 1/2. Okay. And probably need to make sure this thing has compression real quick. Oh yeah. It does, that's good. Anyways, I'm going to pull this off. And that little thing came off with it because it's not bolted in. We'll bolt that in. Let's get the butterfly off and this spring. Now the thing is, I'm going to have to change out the butterfly on this, which isn't that big of a deal. What I'm going to do next is get my screwdriver. Take these 5 bolts off here for the gasket and diaphragm. While we're in here, we might as well go ahead and replace it, because I'm sure it will be close to being time, if not already time for it. I am hoping that this works. It seems like this shows up more than it should on these. It's supposed to be like a little check ball, and check ball's not checking like it's supposed to. And I believe I found a good carburetor. I just gotta change it out. And like I said, I need to change the butterfly out too. Here's the 5th screw. We're gonna get that off. And then we'll go ahead and pull all this out. Thing looks pretty good in this tank. There we go. My diaphragm's still nice and good too, but once we go this far, we're gonna put a new one on. Trying to make sure everything looks good, like I said. And you can tell because that your issues in the carburetor, because all your passages are clean here. Aha! Ha ho! Very interesting. So I've actually found something in the base of this as well. You see this? This is like a little... I wonder if this is what the check ball goes into. I wonder if this thing got sucked down into the... That's very interesting. I wonder if the check ball sucks into this and this goes into the seat. What do y'all think? This might be worth another look here, y'all. Let me put this aside and let's see what we might be able to muster with this. Let me grab my screwdriver again. The black one that I was using is over here. We will take the darn it. What, rule number 1 is clean your mower before you work on it? Let's pull this thing off again. I'm gonna get the gas tank out of the way though. Put them screws so we don't lose them. Okay, so let's do this again. Might need to look at a schematic, but what's looking at a schematic whenever we can try and figure it out ourselves here? It seemed like there was something missing. And is it there? Let's see. What does this do? Does this fit up in the seat potentially? It will it? It will, but is that the way that it goes? I don't think it is. But you know, we could at least attempt it. You know what? Before I give you all the wrong information, let me look at a schematic of this and see exactly how it goes. Alright guys, a little bit of a confession. I ended up losing that ball bearing trying to get it back in. Time is money in my case. So I've already changed the carburetor over to one that I believe is good. We're going to put the gasket on and the diaphragm on. Gasket first, diaphragm first, gasket second. Now we'll put the carburetor on, which I have changed everything out on. I had to change the butterfly and things like that. Added a primer bulb. Seems like it primes fine. We'll see once we get there. We'll put it in. Like I said, I don't have a clue. But either way, I'll show you how to put it back on. And if this doesn't work, then I want to do some off-camera finagling to get it back going. Because the process that I'm showing you, at least, and the cause as to what happened to this, to cause it to not run, is valid. The way that I'm fixing it, either way you get it fixed. Worst case, you could buy a new carburetor. They're like $10 to $12, and you just slap it on. Of course, I've got plenty of things here, but I don't see. Seems like anything I do has been a struggle here lately. So I'm going to put these 5 screws in, and we'll bench test this carburetor, make sure that it works, slap it back on the mower, and we'll be ready to go, hopefully, if this bench tests good. Got to get all your gaskets down and all that good stuff. Seems like it wants to. If not, then we'll go back and find another carburetor. That'll work, hopefully. I almost did this fix off camera because I thought it was going to be easy. And I was like, you know what? I can't win today. My goodness. I guess the check valve isn't going to work for this one either. I swear I'm just like striking out today, and it's a little frustrating. Anyways, I'm going to get something that works. I'll be right back. Alright guys, let me spare you a lot of toil and trouble here. A lot of the situation I was having issues with was the gas, but also, obviously I was having issues with check valves and stuff like that too. So, long story short, I found another carburetor to put on it, which is what we're doing now. And as you can see, we have good priming action. So now what I'm going to do is put it back on the mower. What I'm going to do first also is get some junk out of the way. I need to get some of these bolts on to the pull rope cover. Need to lock that back in too. Get this back up here where it belongs. See if I can get this in. I'm gonna do a little buttoning up. I'll get this carburetor back on, which is very easy to do. You just get your spring, hook it onto the hole that you're gonna have here, and then your rod. And we'll put it back on. Like I said, I got to do a few things, like swap the butterflies out, which is really easy. You just take some pliers, pull this out, pull this up, and swap it with the one that you need. And then we'll be ready to rock and roll again. Alright guys, let's start this thing up. I know it'll run now. Should. muffler's a little loose. I was also putting that pull rope back right what it was like it is supposed to be. Seems to be happy. Let me give it a service and I'll wrap this up. So to quickly recap, we had a ball valve and spring issue on the original carburetor, and then the subsequent carburetors we put on did not want to suck up the old gas that was in the tank. So we put new gas in it. That solved our issue. Alright guys, I got this thing cleaned up and ready to roll. Take a look at it. Looking pretty good. Probably going to be about a $90 to $100 mower when all is said and done. Probably 90. Take 80 for it. So that's kind of it for this. Let me get, it's starting to rain again. Let me get back in the garage and we'll wrap this video up. Alright guys, pardon if the video is a little bit lopsided. Again, I'm working with a couple of zip ties as I'm waiting on a new mount to come in after I broke my other one. Got 5 years out of it. Can't really complain. And about 700 videos, I guess. Anyways, lesson learned on this one. It just took a lot of time to figure out that I just had some bad gas in this thing. It did need a the ball and the spring came out of the carburetor, so at the very least it did need carb work. And I was going to try and save that first one until the ball just went boom out across the garage, and time is money, so I knew I could get this thing fixed today. I found another good carburetor, and then once I got that going, I ended up finding out that's when I had the bad gas. Put fresh gas in it, the thing runs great. Gave it a clean. The oil is so clean I don't even need to change it. Just gave it a blade sharpening. The air filter's good. So this thing really hasn't seen a ton of hard action, which is good. Anyways, again, another classic Briggs engine ready to rock and roll. One of the later ones, the 2011 ones. It seems like the ones that have the little arm on the side for the governor arm, they don't seem like they quite have the power as the old ones do, but this one still will get the job done. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Sorry to lead y'all in the wrong direction, but I at least could identify the problem, what the issue was, and then figure out a solution. So at least we did that in this video. Thanks again. Remember, if you have any questions about the video, you can reach out to me, ellis@ellismowers.com, or you're on Instagram and Facebook at ellismowers09, and I will catch y'all on the next repair. See you then.